We are out here with the hydrogen-powered 61 Impala, and today we're going to be going over a little bit of the technology in the car. We're going to be doing a little bit of a backstory, Mike's involvement in this. Mike is an amazing individual who has helped to mentor me through this project. And so Mike, go ahead and introduce yourself, your businesses, what your involvement with the car was, and let's start there.
All right. Well, my name's Mike Copeland. I own Arrington Performance. I own Arrington Hydrogen, and then I also own a company called Diversified Creations. So, been at this a long time. I'm obviously not a young guy, and built a lot of stuff through the years. When Scott came to me at SEMA and said he wanted to build a hydrogen car, we had our pickup and my Falcon there, both on hydrogen, and wanted to build it. And so I gave him a challenge because I get approached all the time. And he was the only person that actually came back and met the challenge. So I agreed to support him with some engine development work and calibration and components and all of those things to make this car really this was the fourth car to ever run hydrogen ICE, so internal combustion converted to run on hydrogen in the country. So it came out really well. Scott exceeded my expectations by a lot, and built an amazing car, and we're happy to have helped him with it.
Yeah, and so Mike, something that happened in the early days was that challenge that you gave me, and in the beginning you were pretty hard on me. You told me that I couldn't do it, and I took that challenge on. And something that I always say, as I've built this car and as the shop and the team around me really helped, it was no longer about building a car or building a business even, it was about development as an individual. And a place that I got to was a saying that I say all the time now, and that is, put yourself in situations where failure is not an option so the fear doesn't scare you. And Mike has helped me to do that, helped me to move forward beyond the fear, beyond the expectations that are placed beyond me, and really accelerate. And Mike has been a great mentor and a great piece to this puzzle. And I think we want to really show off the technology, show off what Arrington Performance, Arrington Hydrogen can do. And so, Mike, just thank you for everything that you've done.
Oh, you're more than welcome, but it was, I get approached all the time from people all over the world wanting to do, in particular, hydrogen stuff lately, but I've been doing this a long time, and there's a lot of people that want sponsorship, want support, want help, and the standard is that you got to prove that you're going to actually commit to it and deliver, and that's not easy, right? And the questions I asked you and the challenges I gave you up front were the same ones I've given many people. You're the only one that ever did it, right? So hence that's why you have one of very few hydrogen ICE packages in the world. So, but it's all a commitment, and it's being able to understand what your limits are, being able to push those limits, and then being willing to ask for support from people that maybe have already been down that path.
Yeah, and I think I wouldn't have been able to do this project without Mike, without Arrington Hydrogen, Arrington Performance, but also without any of my other sponsors. And you helped to open a lot of those doors with your name backing the car. That was a huge component to where we are today, with Modern Driveline, with Infinity Box, with Wheelwood, with the Edelbrock, with all these other companies that came in and supported me. Even if it was minimal help, your name on the backside of it definitely was a large part of that. And so thank you.
Well, happy to do it. Everybody needs help, right? I get help. Today I'm pretty well known, and I'm in that inner circle in the performance industry, but I wasn't always there, and I needed help too. So I had a lot of great mentors and a lot of great people to help me.
Yep. So, well, Mike, if you would help me to walk people through what's going on in the car, the technology that's behind it, and your engine management system that's in here, and some of those kinds of things. If you would help to walk people through that, let's go ahead and do that.
Okay. So this is an LT4, GM LT4 engine. you would have found this in like a CTSV or a ZL1 Camaro. It has an Edelbrock supercharger, which is bigger than the factory. The factory one's a 1700, and this is actually a 2650. So it has a lot more capability. Although we're not pushing that capability right now, it has that capability. So hydrogen has a wonderful advantage, is that there's not a straight path to get there, but a theoretical path. If you take a couple assumptions, it's about 115 octane. So it gives you the ability to run a lot of compression or a lot of boost on top of a compression. So, I mean, we've run hydrogen engines in the mid-20s for boost and no detonation, no anything. So a lot of opportunity there. In this case, we're feeding it with Phinia injectors. These are an experimental part that Phinia is kind enough to let me get, and they supported us with those. The engine management computer is from a company called Bosch. You may have heard of them. And they are obviously experts in the field, and working with some of their people, it's just been just a fantastic experience. And we've learned so much and come so far, right? So the engine basically is like a production. So we've adapted to the point that we don't need a lot of internal changes to make it perform. So, you know, a lot of people ask all the time, because hydrogen has the ability to burn exceptionally hot, but we've been able to correct that. So I've put my hydrogen engines through EPA emission certification testing, and our highest recorded NOx, we have 0 carbon, first off. So it's 100% carbon free. Hydrogen does not have any carbon in it, so it doesn't have the potential to create it. And with our crankcase ventilation systems, we've been able to solve the issue of pressurization going into the intake and that kind of stuff. So our highest recorded NOx happened at 3 points during the USO6 test. So only 3 points. It was the highest recorded is 0.083. So that's amazingly low. If you average it over the run, we're under 0.01.
Yeah.
So pretty amazing stuff.
And I think that it's impressive that we can do this without doing major internal changes to the motor. And I think getting to that point, there's been a lot of development, there's been a lot of work with the Bosch team and Arrington here to be able to get to that point. But that's pretty impressive on its own.
Yeah, it's been a learning project, right? I mean, we're years into this now, but we've come a long way. So, you know, there's obviously hydrogen tanks. We're running at 350 bar, so which is 5,000 psi. We regulate it down to the engine to about 110 psi roughly, and it just works.
It does. Turn the key and it fires up.
Yep.
And that's the most important part in the aftermarket. And I think something that this hydrogen technology really does for us is it opens up endless capability. So, and something that I've talked about before is we're in the infancy of the technology, right, Mike? So we're very far away from meeting the limits, meeting the expectation on power. I think that there's a long ways to go in this. And with the emissions benefits, we have a much further path that we can run. And so if regulations change or anything like that, we have the capability to move the industry and continue to keep it moving forward.
Yeah, well, right now, running on hydrogen is the only path to zero carbon.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to eliminate carbon, currently hydrogen's the only way to do it.
Yeah, and I think the cool part about it is, not technically, but in theory, every single car on the road today could run on hydrogen that's not an electric vehicle. And that's the cool part about the technology that's in this car in particular is, and your pickup and the Firebird, is that right?
Falcon.
Falcon.
Yeah.
Is that in theory we could run every car in the world off of hydrogen.
Yeah, well, the interesting thing about hydrogen, it's made from water. And it's done with electrolysis, where you separate the hydrogen from the oxygen in water. When you burn it and it comes out the tailpipe, you get a minuscule amount of water, but it turns back into water.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So, Mike, why don't we do a walk around the vehicle? Give me some of your thoughts on the engine bay and the interior, and then we'll go to the back where all the magic happens with the tanks and fuel system and stuff back there. But I would like to hear your thoughts on the engine bay and how we did as a shop to put this package together.
Well, I think you guys did a fantastic job. I mean, I can nitpick and only find one or two little things that I would change, which is very unusual because I am, as I described it, an anal bastard when it comes to detail. The headers are a work of art. The motor compartment's very clean, not a hose showing, not a wire harness showing, anything, and that's what I like to do. I'm very anal about that. And all the fasteners match. They all, you know, blend in. They all look the part. It's detail, and there's a tremendous amount of detail in this motor compartment, and people don't recognize it or understand it. You're 21 years old, and you built this car. I told you earlier, I at 21 was not capable of building a car at this level. So I'm really impressed with the quality and how it all looks.
Well, thank you for that, Mike.
And it works. I mean, you start it up and drive it. Right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's go to the back. Let's look in the back and explain some of the hydrogen fuel cell and stuff, and then we'll go ahead and maybe take it for a drive. How does that sound? Alrighty, Mike, so this is in the back of the car now. I'm gonna make this short and sweet, but back here we've got the 2 hydrogen tanks, and each one of these carry 2 kilograms at 350 bar, giving us 3 kilograms. And then these 2 fans back here, that's what's called a hydrogen fuel cell. So that's something that we did that's very different in this car, and it is burns hydrogen, creates DC power. So we have no alternator, AC compressor, power steering pump, no water pump. There's no parasitic draw off of the front of the motor. And that's something that we did very different. And then that allowed us to do some really cool things like electric heat, electric AC, that we were able to control then through our body control system. So this has an infinity box body control system that we were able to integrate into that heat and the AC. So like in the heat, that's something that we built. We did basically PTC heaters, and then we pulse width modulated through PWM relays. And we have just a bunch of different components in this car, and that's all behind those panels right there, in between that and the rear seat. And so, Mike, what I'd like for you to do is to talk through some of the safety, some of the line regulations, some of these tanks being DOT approved, some of that kind of stuff, to showcase the safety back here and how this car can be driven.
Sure. Well, so hydrogen tanks are made a number of different ways. In automotive applications, we need to use either a stage 3 or a stage 4. So stage 3 is a spun aluminum tank wrapped in carbon fiber. Stage 4 is exactly the same, except it has a rubber bladder inside it. Tanks are designed and rated based on the pressure they're designed to operate. So there are 3 common pressures for hydrogen: 350 bar, which is 5,000 psi; 700 bar, which is double that, so that's 10,000 psi. And then there is a 750 bar, but very, very few people use that. So, but these tanks are designed, they'll deform in a crash. The carbon fiber keeps them strong, keeps them from being impregnated by something. They're very strong in a crash. So all of the lines that support it, all the valves, all the lines, they're all certified for 2 times. So if you have a 5,000 pound tank, all the lines are a specific military application, and then they're tested and certified to double that. So they'll be at 10,000. And there's a safety margin above that, which is really takes them to at least 15,000 psi rated. So that's the way all the lines are done. Regulator, same deal. It's designed to operate at those pressures and do that. hydrogen is different than gasoline from the standpoint, hydrogen is the lightest element known to man. So if we release hydrogen here, it's going straight up. It's going to mix with the atmosphere and then just disappear. If you do that with gasoline, if you create a gasoline leak, it's going straight down. It's heavier than air.
And
it's going to lay on the ground underneath the vehicle or in the trunk or wherever, and then it has the potential, if it catches on fire, to explode. Hydrogen has the same, but we actually ran some tests with hydrogen where we created a hydrogen leak and lit it on fire. And as it traveled up, it travels up so fast and mixes with the atmosphere, it actually put itself out. So there's you know, everybody wants to talk about the Hindenburg when you talk about hydrogen. And there's a whole reason behind why that happened and how unsafe it was at the time. But hydrogen can be dangerous, but we go to great lengths with safety and with all the features to make sure that God forbid there was an accident or something, it's safe.
Yeah, and that's the main focus and the main purpose back here is the way that we mounted the tanks, the way that everything's bracketed, the way that we designed everything back here was to make sure that safety is at the #1 focal point. And something that I would like to mention is that this car doesn't have it, but you're familiar with Phineas detection system, aren't you?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And so there's systems out there where we can detect hydrogen leaks inside of the vehicle that then can directly work with my body control system to set off alarms, to be able to do different things like that, like roll down the windows, get us to a position where we can pull off the road and be safe without that risk in case we ever do run into a leak. Now the chances of that ever happening are very, very small, right? With the lines that we're using, the swage lock fittings, the special military lines and stuff that are inside of the cars, very safe. But in case we ever were to meet that, we have the technology available to us to detect those types of leaks.
Absolutely. Yeah, the Phineas system works exceptionally well for that. And I've actually integrated it into one of our vehicles, so it works exceptionally well.
Well, good, Mike. I appreciate your time, and we'll maybe see about going and drive this thing, but I appreciate it. And yeah, look forward to the next few projects. Hopefully we'll be doing this again.
Yeah, well, you built a beautiful car. Congratulations on your accomplishments. So, even I know you got a team around you, but people don't know that weren't involved. It's all young guys on your team, right? I'm the only old guy that was involved. Well, me and your dad, and he's not as old as me, but anyway, so it was all young guys. They knocked this thing out of the park.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Good, Mike.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, got some opportunity for a few tweaks, but we'll get them.